This guide will be featuring all different playstyles, also known as Q max and W max. You will know both of it. I'm assuming that you guys know what Vlad abilities do. If you don't, then you might need to be killed. I'm a challenger player since season 7, so 8 years now in total. Here's the fucking question that I keep on getting, and it is when do you max pool and when not? And it's really, really easy. If you press W in front of your lane opponent and they kill you, then it's probably not a good idea to max pool. Like, I just played a game against a Mordekaiser, and if I were to max pool into his face, he will just press R and kill me. Most other champions that do this are like ranged champions, like Vayne, Gnar, Kennen, like those kind of champions. If you just press W, they will just like run you down. But if they're like a melee champion like Renekton, where they have to like use abilities on you and like go melee, and you press W and you heal on them and the wave, then they're fucked, and then you get to outscale really hard. W max, like I said, is really, really good against these kind of champions. Like if they play Renekton to you, you just get a free scaling game. If they play Jackson to you and he like jumps on you and he like uses E, then like he legit cannot play. Like, it's just super fucking broken. So max leads any of Vlad counter matchups. I mean, yeah, like all these champions are usually like really, really aids. Unless, I mean, Jackson Yon isn't really too bad, but like Renekton is like super aids. Garen just run you down after pool as well? No, Garen has way too little damage, and Garen is like 2 melee champion that he will, like if he right clicks you and you press pool, like you just win. You know what I mean? Not like he uses pool and then he doesn't use abilities. If you have like really hard matchup, you can go to TP, but I mostly just always take Ghost if I can. This is the setup. I mostly go Grasp. You go Grasp over Phase Rush, mainly because you get Demolished. Because if you go Sorcery Primary, then you get Nimbus Cloak, which kind of sucks when you go like Flash TP, and Demolish like lets you actually go silent and break towers like hugely. I always rush CDR shoes first back because W doesn't really scale too well with like any stats. Like the HP scaling is ass, the AP scaling doesn't exist, so if you get like as much ability haste as possible, it's really fucking good. Actually, we good against mids like Sylas, Fizz, Kiana. Yeah, extremely good. Like, they cannot play the game. I think this entire setup is like better mid than top even, because in top lane, if you one-shot the wave and you manage the wave well and shit, and you get like tempo, like if you kill the wave and there's a timer where you get to walk away from top lane, you don't really do much. But in mid lane, if you one-shot the wave when it spawns, then you actually get to roam and like fuck jungle in the ass and shit like that. So I think it's like much better mid. I just enjoy playing top lately, that's why I'm playing it. Why is Ignited bad now? Because there's no need for it. You don't need to kill your lane opponent. Setup 2. If you cannot proc Demolish in lane and you cannot proc Grasp, where like Grasp is just useless, you can also go Phase Rush. It's pretty much the same thing. When TP or Ghost with W max, if you are against a comp that needs Ghost, then go Ghost. I would always go Ghost personally, because W max is like very good lane pressure that you can always like get out of jail for free. So this is how you play it. If you max W, okay? This is really, really important. This right here, what I'm about to say in the next like 2 minutes, is the reason why W max Vlad has lower win rates, because like people don't know how to actually play it, okay? But it's so fucking easy, okay? This is exactly why. You and your lane opponent both walk to lane. Mini waves in the middle. You're laning against Renekton, okay? What you need to do as Vlad is you have to hit the minions. If you hit the minions and you start to get the wave to push into him, then you're gonna build up a really big wave, okay? And when this really big wave reaches tower, like on wave 3, on cannon wave, especially like good, you want it to push under tower. And then when this happens, when it goes under tower, you do not hit the next wave. This will instantly lose you the game. This is legit probably why like the win rate is so fucking shit, because some fucking shitter is gonna hit the next wave. You want it to go under his tower, okay? And then once it's under his tower, you do not hit the wave at all. This is holy. The next mini wave bouncing back that comes back into you, this is holy. You want it to stack, so you get as big of a juicy W as possible, okay? So you push it in, and then it bounces back, and then the Renekton is like doing the stacking thing against you, and then it gets like over here. Can you set here for boots? No, do not reset here. It's really shit to reset, because this is where you're really strong. This is where you win the game. Either ways, the mini wave bounces back, and it comes into this position right here in front of your tower, which is also really fucking safe then, so you can't really get jungle gang. And then here, right here, you're gonna be level 4, okay? Maybe level 5, depending on which wave it is. But here, when you have 2 points in W or 3 points in W, you want to try get an EW on the wave, because not only will this full heal you no matter what health you are on, it'll also chunk the shit out of your lane opponent, and then your lane opponent also has cancer because he wants to crash the wave, because him being in this spot is like really volatile. He can get like jungle gang, it's like really awkward. He has to like fucking push in the next wave like so hard for it to go under tower. It's like just super aids, dude. And this entire concept of you pushing in the wave and then the wave bouncing back into you, this isn't like just an early game thing. This you can do at like 10 minutes into the game whenever. It's just really important that you know that once you push the wave under his tower, that it comes back into you, and that's when you're really fucking strong. You want to play with the wave bouncing into you all the time. If you're like just stomping lane opponent and you're like doing really insane and you're just like pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing, you're still going to be in a really bad spot, because you're going to be here and you can get ganked, and that has no pool because you're W maxing and you're using on every wave, and then anyone can just come and fuck you in the ass, okay? You got that, SpongeBob? Why lasted low no minions while the wave is pushing towards me. Yes, of course. You can push. You can last it. Listen, this is a little bit of a fundamentals thing. But dude, if there is 3 enemy minions and 3 of your ally minions as well, this wave, even if you lasted it, it'll always push really aggressively into you. Like, look at this. This is the line between the middle of top lane, okay? And these minions are on enemy side of the top lane, so it's really close to his tower. But ignore the tower. But listen, the next minion wave is going to arrive here, and it's going to start fighting. Where is your minion wave? It's over here. So your minion wave, while the enemy minion wave is still fighting already, it's coming in, not fighting, and then they're fighting. And by the time this minion wave arrives, enemy minion wave will already have killed all of yours. You know what I mean? So it pushes really hard into you. It works in mid also. The pushing, I don't know exactly what you mean by if it works in mid. WMAX works in mid, but this concept of like the minions pushing into you because it's on enemy side of the map, that of course works on mid as well. But it's not nearly as important. Mid lane is such a shorter wave that it doesn't, like, you can't really like get stuck in mid lane, if you know what I mean. Mid game, you just want to be farming as per usual. You're playing Vladimir, but at the same time, you have to be grouping up for objectives like Dragon and Herald. But if you think that you can win the game by like getting like Vlad late game and getting like 3 items on Vlad, and it doesn't matter if enemy team gets like Dragon. Like if you, let's say, have 2 dragons already, enemy team is like in a really good position where if they force a fight, they will probably win a fight, then just go side lane and just farm and just take side lane towers. If you take like Demolish on Vlad, you usually don't really have like much tower like damage, but if you take Demolish and you have like 5,000 health, that shit scales into tower damage, and then you'd like 1 billion. But yeah, mid game, just check minimap, see what's going on, and play with intention, like not autopiloting. Like just ask yourself, like, what are you doing right now, and what do you want to be doing in 30 seconds? If you just ask yourself these 2 questions, like you will climb like no matter what. The reason someone doesn't climb ever in like these kind of games is just because they're not sentient, you know? It's very simple. Farm 10 CS per minute mid game, eat sideline towers, go dragons, play objectives, team fight if you can. We are already at the late game. Late game, like dude, you see this? I'm 202, like, this isn't even that fed, like in terms of kills, but I'm 10 CS per minute because I'm playing WMAX and I'm just farming. I end up having 3 items, and then you end up having like 4.3k health and like 600 AP, and you just become god. Fight starts off, right? And I'm just proccing Cosmic Drive off the first target that I can, which is Thresh. So I'm just like chunking him. And I'm trying to frontline for my team because I'm still 4,000 health. Kai'Sa goes in the backline, so I instantly turn back on her. And because I'm playing Vlad, I one-shot her. What's really important here in this fight, what would have changed everything, is that I'm not ulting here. This is probably like a really big like bait, what like bad Vlads would do. Like seeing like ult here, like ulting. I'm not ulting at all, right? I'm waiting for them to clump up. Because legit, every time you wait for people to clump up, they always do. It's legit like 1 in 1,000 where they don't. And I'm holding it. Any team clumps up, 3-man ult, boom. GG. And I already know I'm gonna win this fight. I'm just waiting for my E cooldown and I'm going in. EW win. And when you kill people on Vlad and you have Transcendence, your pool cooldown gets lower because of the resets that Transcendence gives you. So instead of having like 7-second pool cooldown, I have 3 now. So yeah, I just get another pool and nobody can really do anything against me. In this fight I don't have ult, but I have Ghost and Phase Rush, so it's like really hard for enemy team to play. And here especially, like, you really get to see how fucking strong this build is, because even if you don't do well in lane, all you need to do is have good farm, or like somewhat good farm, and you need to have the scaling runes, because that's what gives you so much power. And if you end up having 3 items, 10 Dark Seal stacks, or like just 3 items, like dude, 245 CS at 29 minutes and only 2 kills, like fucking legit dog shit stats, right? But I'm legit god this game, like it just doesn't matter. But here again, just like last fight, I'm like walking up really aggressively, trying to proc Cosmic Drive and frontlining for my ADC champions. I got 2 of them in this game. And trying to hit as many people as possible with my E. And pool cooldown is so low when you use it early in the fight that you just get it back. And especially with Phase Rush and Ghost, you can just go like really hard even when you have no pool, because it's so hard to kill you. Now playing around my pool cooldown again. Nautilus ults me. I get the perfect pool off. Destruction alert. Minor destruction alert. But yeah, like the PowerPoint isn't really that big. That's about it, chat. So if you have any other questions, just ask away. Is Smokes worth going against mages that outrange you, or is it still better to Q-max and suck minions? I think mid lane is a bit of an exception where if you max pool against people that like actually can poke you, like Syndra, I think I haven't really played too much mid. But from the few games that I've played and just logically thinking, if you W the wave against like a Syndra and you one-shot the wave, Syndra is not going to be able to poke you because she's too busy like last hitting minions on her tower, and it's like so much pressure that you get like lane prio and everything. So I think it works like way better into Aatrox matchup. I ban Aatrox. Against Assassins on mid, would you go W or Q max? I would for sure go W max. You end up being like way too tanky that the assassin can't even kill you, like with the HP runes and stuff. Everybody Crypt Bloom, yeah, I don't know. I think like when you go this build, I think it's better to go Zhonya's because it lets you get another pool off, like with this active. And what happens when you go these items is your AP gets turned into HP with Vlad passive, and you have a lot of AP because you get Rabadons, okay? And because you build high AP items, that AP gets multiplied with Death Cap, and then gets put into more AP, and that more AP gets put into HP, and that chunk of that a lot of HP gets turned into AP with Vlad passive, which gives you more AP, which circles around, okay? And now you hear this, but then you also build Riftmaker, which gives you another Vlad passive, and then just makes the circle another circle, you know what I mean? So what ends up happening is that you just get like, you buy a needlessly large rod, and it gives you 70 AP. Well, guess what, motherfucker? This shit gives you like 100 AP now, and it gives you like 150 health, okay? So you get like insanity efficiency. And Crypt Bloom doesn't really give you much AP, so I don't really like building it. I'd rather just like build like pure stats, you know what I mean? In case you go Air Ignite still, yes. In Qmax, you can just go Air Ignite. I kind of have been enjoying phasers lately, but like into Nasus, like into this game, like against Alois, like it's really hard for him to play the game if I just go Airy Scorch. And I go Phase Rush because he has Wither. With Grasp, are you focusing proccing a lot in the first 2, 3, 4 waves, or are you focusing controlling the wave? Always control wave, dude. It's the highest prio no matter what. If you don't control your wave, well, you're fucked.